In today's video, we're going to be adding to the general discussion of how good or bad is Remington Thunderbolt ammunition. Portion of this video were filmed at Daryl's indoor range, as well as the beautiful Banner shooting range. Viewers of previous videos will better recognize Remington Thunderbolt as the good ammo on this channel. This is not because we think it is necessarily the best ammo, but for the price, it has always been a very good plinking ammo for us over the years. Much better than the reputation it has in certain dark corners of the internet. The Winchester M22 ammo is being included today as a bulk ammo comparison piece. We needed something to compare the Thunderbolt against. Both boxes list a 40 grain projectile weight and 1255 feet per second velocity. There's a slight difference in bullet type, round nose lead versus black copper plated round nose. Will that copper plating make a difference? The firearm used to end this test are two very common .22 long rifle firearms found today, a Ruger 1022 and a Smith and Wesson M&P 1522. We will be breaking up the range footage a couple times to briefly discuss both firearms and why they were chosen for this video. With almost 2 hours of range footage to trim down, due to time constraints, we won't be showing all of that footage at full speed and may even edit out much of it. The unedited videos will be shared on this channel, maybe as a member exclusive, around the time that this video goes live. And now, let's hit the range! Okay, what we are here today, we're going to get some footage for our Thunderbolt bulk ammo test here out of the 1022 and the Smith and Wesson M&P 1522. As a baseline, I'm going to shoot a couple magazines of different ammo. I think the 1022 CCI standard velocity in the mags. In our 1522, I'll do a couple magazines of mini mags, just to show that hopefully they work reliably with some type of ammo. Let's do the 1022 first. This is technically a rifle. Our 1522 is technically a pistol. I don't think that'll make much difference for our purposes. And I even remembered to put a fresh battery in our optic last night, so it hopefully shouldn't die on us. Here we go. Safety. No hold open on empty on this apparently. But our first magazine, 100% reliable. That's always a good start. Okay, we've added a second target, and turns out our first round was looking at the wrong target, so we'll just have to rely on our still image for our 1022. Good thing the crew suggested that we add a second target out here. At the second target now, we're going to shoot at the 15. We're going to use the 1522, using CCI Mini Mag as our baseline. Here we go. Okay. Good reliability again. With the shine going across the target, I couldn't really see it, which probably explains why I didn't hit it very many times. Okay, we have switched over to the good ammo, and I have moved our target slightly closer so that I can better see with the glare the bottom of the two targets today. We're going to do now a magazine of many. This will be the first of many of our Thunderbolt ammo through our 1022, and our top target, which already has some hits on it. Here we go, 25, and it targets at about 15 to 18 yards. Yep. Okay.
Well, the good ammo went flawlessly.
It did. It looks like a very similar, maybe a slightly longer pattern, but pretty well centered from what I can tell here. To me, it sounded like 4 of those were less loud than the rest. I don't know if you noticed those.
Yeah, I thought there were 4 or 5 that were. The first time I thought that's a little bit.
They look like poof instead of bang. But they cycled the action no problem. Let's see if the 1522 is as lucky. We're gonna shoot at the bottom target this time. 25 rounds. We only had 24. Let me put the 26th round in. That was on me.
That was the good ammo too.
That's the good ammo. 0 failures so far. Hit the button on the other side. There you go, it's loaded. Yeah, that was all 25.
A few moments later.
We are back out at the range doing our bulk 22 box ammo challenge. Working our way through the 500 round boxes. Today, we are going to start with the Winchester M22 ammo. I think last time we started with the Remington Thunderbolt. Now for this video, the Ruger targets will be on the bottom targets. The Smith and Wesson targets will be the top targets. And the Remington will be on the right. R for right. Winchester, starting with the W, will be on the left. Convenient how that worked out. Okay, so bottom left target, 25 shots. Winchester M22. Here we go. Let's do 25 more. All right, so 2 magazines of the Winchester, 0 failures. Okay, now we're going to do 2 magazines, the Smith and Wesson now. Same ammo. This time I will shoot at the top left-hand 6-inch target here. All right, here we go. Alright, magazine 1, 0. Let's go to magazine 2 now. And a failure. Looks like a failure to eject. Okay. Failure to eject again. That's 2. That's 3. Three failures that magazine. 2. Let's put them in. That was a cannon. Now let's go to the Thunderbolt ammo. We'll start with the Smith and Wesson this time. Thunderbolt will be on the top right target from the Smith and Wesson. 50 shots. Here we go. Alright, no issues in the first mag. See if we can do one more here. And a failure to eject, it looks like. Wonder if we're getting a little dirty here. Let's see. Okay, so I think on our Smith and Wesson, both these pistol rifle, both these firearms at this point have, this one now has about 325 rounds through it since its last cleaning. The other, our Ruger, is at about 275, somewhere around there. So let's switch to the Ruger. All right, now we are going to do our 2 magazines of Thunderbolt. Bottom right target. So far, we've had 1 failure to eject with a Thunderbolt out of the Smith and Wesson. Let's see how it does today out of our 1022. Let's finish out our Thunderbolt test here. Zero failures. Don't forget to like and subscribe so Freddy gets his biscuits. For our first break from the range, let's take a moment to discuss the 1022. The Ruger 1022 has been around for years. For many people, it was their first firearm. They are fun plinking and hunting firearms that work very well stocked from Ruger, but are also extremely customizable. Maybe among the most customizable firearms out there. The reason this particular 22 is in this video is to represent that customization. Other than the barrel and receiver, every other part of this firearm has been changed. The springs, trigger, bolt release, Mall Ninja muzzle device, etc. In this video today, before getting to the last 30 rounds that you'll see in a bit, it was rock solid. Before that time, there were 2, 3 failures altogether, all late in the challenge. I'm going to say all due to the firearm starting to get quite dirty by that time. Other than running a bore snake through it, this 1022 doesn't get a proper cleaning until it starts to have problems and needs one. We had very good accuracy. Other than those dirty 30, I'm saying we had very good reliability. Had I gave it the old rem oil treatment sooner, those would have gone much smoother. Had it not been for the challenge, I would have used that rem oil sooner than I did. I noticed 700 or 800 rounds in, when charging the firearm, the bolt was becoming more difficult to close due to that buildup. Now let's return to the range. We'll take another break in a few minutes to briefly discuss the Smith and Wesson M&P 1522. Okay, we are out today at the beautiful Banner Range, trying to finish off our Remington Thunderbolt versus Winchester M22 bulk box reliability comparison here. I think we got about 250 rounds of each to shoot, so we might not finish it all today, but I think we'll get close. Let's start today with our Smith and Wesson M&P 1522 pistol that we've been using. Now I will say that since the last time we were out a week ago, I did give this gun a quick clean, not like a super thick cleaning, but I ran a bolt through it, snake through it, and shot it down with some oil and whatnot. Because I noticed last week, as we got to about 500 rounds through it, was when we started to see some of our failures. So let's see if that was just a dirty gun issue or if the Winchester is slightly less reliable in this firearm. Here we go. We're going to start with the M&P and the Winchester ammo. We're on the critter course. I don't have target cam set up. So anyway, here we go. First mag, 0 failure. Let's go to mag 2 now. All right. So far, so good. 50 rounds, 0 failures. Same ammo, Winchester M22. Interestingly, I thought I have a third magazine, and I went to use it, and I pulled one round out because I couldn't remember what it was loaded with, and it said Super X on the back. And I was like, oh, this must be one I haven't been using. And then I looked at the M22 and it says Super X on the back, so I think it actually is, even though we're not shooting that one today. So anyway, long story short, let's get started. Okay, here we go. No failures. Okay, now we get to do the tedious task of reloading. Alright, now we are going to do the Remington Thunderbolt here. Alright, so far, 0 failures. Always what we like to see. Okay, here we go, to the 1022 this time. Alright. 0 failures through either firearm. Doing good so far. We are now going to go back to our Winchester M22 ammo. So far, both firearms 100% reliable today. Okay, so apparently when our Smith and Wesson is like super clean, it'll work with the Winchester. Seems like as it gets a little dirty, our reliability starts to suffer. Okay, 3 failures with the Smith and Wesson on that set. Not a good sign.
A few moments later.
Okay, these will be the last magazines of our challenge ammo. through our firearms here today. I've got about 30 rounds, 35 rounds-ish left for each firearm. With the MP1522, we are going to do the last 30-ish rounds of Thunderbolt ammo. I'm just going to skip putting the magnifier on at this point. We'll just shoot at the close. Not that you can see them, the close prairie dogs anyway. Here we go. That's our partial mag. This should be about 25 rounds now. And the 1522 finishing strong. 0 failures. That's what we like to see. Let's do our 1022 now. Ooh, excuse me, here we go. Uh-oh, failure. Failure.
Emotional damage.
I think our 1022 finally starting to show some dirt on it. That's the end of that. Okay, now we started our challenge. Before we opened up the bulk boxes, we did some magazines of ammo we knew worked, like CCI Mini Mag, through our firearms, just to prove that they worked with something reliably before we got into the challenge. So that way if something didn't work, we couldn't blame the firearm. Well, now we see after more than 1,000 rounds that our 1022 is starting to be very picky, and I think that's 100% on being dirty. We saw that it went about 1,000 rounds flawlessly and then sort of fell off the ledge. So what we're going to do is we're going to do an old timers trick. Let's hit it with a little Rem oil. See if it brings it back. And if we can make it through, and so no one can say shenanigans, we're going to do the Rem oil trick also on our Smith and Wesson here. A little Rem oil. So we have lost the one camera to dead battery because we've been here a long time. Let's hopefully point of view cam can hold out on us for 2 magazines. That's all we need is 2 magazines out of you, point of view cam. Here we go. Start with our 1022. This is mini mags. Zero failures. The Rem oil trick apparently works. Now let's see if we have as good a luck here next time. Okay, so here we are. We're down to our last magazine. Range went cold on us partway through. 25 rounds. This is going to be mini mag for a baseline. And we give it a shot of Rem oil, because that's what our 1022 needed to get back in gear here. So here we go, 25 shots, mini mag, finish the day. There we go. 0 failures. I might have miscounted and only put 20, but I think that's enough. There we go. For our second range break, let's now take a moment to discuss the Smith and Wesson M&P 1522. This particular firearm has been used in numerous videos on the channel. Long-time viewers will likely recognize there was a time where I was not too hot on this one. Early on, I had quite a bit of irreliability issues with it, and went as far as to consider it ammo sensitive. I'm not prepared to remove that label from my particular 1522, but tests like this one are starting to help soften that label for me. Besides wanting to give this 1522 a proper bulk box ammo test, we also wanted to have something not a 1022 represented. The 1522 seems like a major competitor to fill that slot. Some people may have preferred we used a rifle version rather than the, quote, pistol version represented here today. I think most people who have that pistol version are probably using it similar to how I did today. The same may be true for the 1022 Charger. Those I know who have those have braces attached. For that reason, we thought it would be nice to also have a, quote, pistol represented in this challenge. You may or may not notice that one difference is the noise generated. This may be due to the end of the barrel being closer to my ears, but the 1522 pistol is noticeably louder compared to the 1022 rifle. Some other nice features of the 1522 over the 1022 are the hold open on empty. On a challenge like this, for a person like me who easily loses count, that hold open on empty during a challenge like this made it easier to rule out failure versus empty magazine. It is also easier to lock the bolt open. However, due to that design, it also means at a public range it is a good idea to have a barrel flag like you see me use in this video. When setting the firearm down on the table so you can see it is open, it sits on the bolt release, which then drops the bolt. The barrel flag helps keep the bolt from fully closing and provides a more easily seen means to show the firearm does not have a round in the chamber. I also find that the magazine style of the 1522 magazines to be easier to load. That spring button you can pull down is nice. I'm undecided if the left-right stagger of the bullets being out of alignment contributes to feed issues like I've said before. Early on I thought it did, But since then, when introducing that issue, I have not been able to induce a feed issue as a result of it. With this particular 1522 pistol, one key issue seems to be regularly cleaning it. After a few hundred rounds, I start to get failures. A shot of Rem oil may help stave that off momentarily, but once it starts happening, you know it's due for a cleaning. Other than mine needing a cleaning sooner than what my 1022 does, this 1522 has many of the same qualities. Fun to shoot, easy to operate, accurate, reliable with ammo it likes. Both it and the 1022 are firearms that for me are ideal, quote, truck guns. A firearm I could toss in the backseat of the truck for when I'm down on the farm and want to do a little target plinking. Before we get to the conclusion of today's video, how about one last trip to the range, this time with the chronograph.
Alright, we're going to do some chronograph testing here. With our Remington ammo, about every, I don't know, 5th, 6th shot, something like that, you get one that sounds a little less loud than the ones that preceded it. And it makes you wonder, is there a big dip in velocity or what? So let's see what we can find out. We're going to start with our Winchester ammo. I'm going to do 25 shots. Hopefully we get all those on the chronograph. We'll see how many register. We'll get our average after those 25 shots. We're going to do both the Ruger and then the Smith and Wesson. And then we'll repeat that using the Thunderbolt ammo. Here we go. Okay, we're getting numbers. Okay, 25 shots, 0 failures. We'll do the average at the end. Oh, well, I need to get a new shot sample. Okay. Average 1,200 feet per second, highest velocity 1,230 feet per second, lowest 1,070 feet per second. That's a 25 shot sample size. All right, here we go. Okay, we're getting numbers. Okay, 25. Okay, average velocity 1,141 feet per second. Highest velocity 1,174 feet per second. Lowest velocity 1,093 feet per second. That's across our 25 shot sample. Okay, we are getting numbers. Failure. Oh, we were empty. We must have had 3 that didn't pick up. Okay, average velocity 1,124 feet per second. Highest velocity 1,189. Lowest velocity 1,060 feet per second. So we definitely see some variation in the velocities of this ammo. Let's see how it does now out of our 1522 pistol. We're getting numbers. Average velocity 1,042 feet per second. Highest velocity 1,133 feet per second. Lowest velocity 962 feet per second. Again, quite a bit of variation in the velocities on that ammo. Let's do a couple of cylinders through a handgun, starting with the Thunderbolt here. Okay, we're getting numbers. Okay, those two didn't register. Okay, 12 of the hits registered on the Doppler. Average velocity out of our snub nose revolver, 861 feet per second. Highest velocity, 949 feet per second. Lowest velocity, 802 feet per second. Let's see how the Winchester does now. Okay, all 16 hits registered on our Doppler. Average velocity 940 feet per second. Highest velocity 976 feet per second. Lowest velocity 921 feet per second. So we see less difference in velocity out of our revolver with this Winchester M22 ammo. For comparison's sake, we won't have nearly as many shots, but I have the 8 rounds of CCI Stangers that I would normally have in this LCR if, say, this was a carry situation. Let me load those in here, and we'll get 8, hopefully, measurements so we can see how this Stanger does for comparison out of our short-barreled snub-nose revolver here. Eight shots registered. Average velocity 1,141 feet per second. Highest velocity 1,064 feet per second. Lowest velocity 1,112 feet per second. That's a significant capacity jump over our bulk box ammo. Let's do one more here. I think I might have 8 mini mags in my pocket. Okay, all 8 hits registered. All right, with mini mags, average velocity 923 feet per second, highest 948, lowest 894. Interesting.
And now, the conclusion to today's video. For both firearms, from beginning to end, I'm going to say we had very good accuracy for bulk box planking ammo. If there is a difference, it came down to a slight point of impact change between the ammos, and not that one is more or less accurate than the other. For both ammos tested today, I think we also had good reliability for bulk box ammo. On paper, we did have a few less failures with the Thunderbolt than the M22. I'm saying 5 Thunderbolt to 12 M22. During this test, out of the 1522 pistol, the M22 seemed more prone to what I'm calling dirty gun failures than the Thunderbolt. If this test were repeated a second and third time, would those numbers be the same? I'm not so sure. I think we had good enough performance for bulk box ammo for both firearms today. If there's one area where we did see a noticeable difference in this ammo, it was velocity. Both boxes are marked 40 grain projectile, 1,255 feet per second. For the M22, out of the Ruger 1022 over 25 shot sample, our average velocity was 1,200 feet per second. Out of the 1522 pistol, that was 1,141 feet per second. That's not the 1,255 feet per second printed on the box, but it's closer than we've seen on some manufacturers on other tests. For the Thunderbolt, out of the 1022, the average velocity was 1,124 feet per second. Out of the 1522, that's 1,042 feet per second. Now that is quite a bit of a drop when compared to the 1,255 feet per second printed on the box. Now for comparison's sake, out of our snub nose 22 long rifle Ruger LCR revolver, the M22 had an average velocity of 940 feet per second. The Thunderbolt 861 feet per second. Now for the sake of comparison, CCI Mini Mags 923 feet per second and CCI Stangers 1,141 feet per second. It's pretty impressive out of a little snub nose for a 22 if you think about it. So what we see when it comes to velocity, some bulk box ammo is better than others. We included the snub nose LCR as a way to show in the extreme that barrel length as well as projectile weight, in the case of the Stangers, can affect bullet velocity. For both ammos today, especially for planking, I think we saw very good accuracy and good enough reliability. Would I buy either one again? Certainly, especially when I spot them on sale. As far as the crew is concerned, we probably only added more fuel to the fire for their championing of the good ammo. Well anyway, we hope you found this video useful. In the future, we might do similar tests with the Thunderbolt ammo against other bulk box ammo. If you'd like to see more videos like this, let us know in the comments below. Thanks for watching, and as always, have a good day.